Hey everybody, it is Saturday evening and I've been out in the yard most of the day tinkering around doing stuff out in the gardens, and now that the storms are brewing I'm here in the fish room and I've been tinkering around with some different stuff that I'm working on. None of it really has to do specifically with my fish tanks, so I'm not really sure what kind of video to shoot tonight. I thought about doing an around the world update, but I'm kind of in the middle of doing other stuff. So this is going to be a little bit of everything. We're going to get a little bit of a discussion about my around the world and what's going on down here, my tinkerings and so on and so forth. So one of the first things I did the other day was I replaced the overhead lighting in this room. If you've ever seen me show you objects or whatever, I bought this the other day by accident. I meant to buy river shrimp, and I bought mysis shrimp, but you can see how brightly, clearly lit everything is. So I went from having this, I know this isn't going to really show up too much, but I have a drop ceiling, and you can see where it's got the light diffuser panel in there. And what was behind that for all those years was an old T12 fixture. It was hardwired in there, and the reflector was hammered flat, and they had it screwed up into the joists in the ceiling. So I ripped all that out, and what I did was, instead of hardwiring a new light in, I put a receptacle up in the rafters, or the joist rather, and now I can simply plug in a shop light. So that's what we've got going on in there now, is a shop light. But I've also got a receptacle up there for something else that we're going to be doing here in the very near future. So another thing I've been doing in here today is just getting the room cleared out. I am one of those people that is allergic to clothes hampers and dressers. So all of my clean clothes just wind up getting thrown in my chair. I'm also one of those people that if there's a flat surface, stuff gets piled on it. So everything gets covered in clutter. And this is what the center of my fish room generally looks like. I'm always talking about bumping into stuff and, so this is it. And I'm probably trying to get rid of all this stuff, and I'm going to do something different in here. So rather than getting this view as you walk into the room and seeing my island of junk, hopefully we're going to get an island of something else. And I don't want to say anything else beyond that, but keep in mind that right up there I've got a brand new electrical receptacle just waiting for something to do below it. So look forward to some stuff coming up. I am down here tinkering. I do have some ideas, but I don't know exactly what I'm going to be doing yet. Another thing that we've got going on down here this evening that I'm actually starting to work on right now is, if you'll notice, the lighting in this tank has gotten much more subdued. That is because one of the two fixtures I've got up here, these are Core Life fixtures. They have two T5 high output fluorescents in it, and this fixture's burned out again. They're not bad fixtures. They're fairly low budget for what they are, and because they're low budget, I'm assuming the ballasts are not the greatest ballasts in the world. And about once a year or so, one of the tubes burns out, and if one of the tubes burns out, the whole fixture shuts down. So that's not that big a deal, because you got to swap the tubes out about once a year or so anyway. But at the same time, when a ballast starts going bad and it starts happening more and more frequently, it's time to just get rid of that fixture, which is what I did with my brackish tank not long ago. And so I'm down to one fixture in that tank, down to one fixture in my gudgeon tank, and in my gudgeon tank here, the forward fixture was my Core Life with the T5s in it. This fixture back here is just one of those standard hoods you get on an aquarium, and it's got just a little T8 fluorescent tube that fills like the middle of it. It's a 3-foot fixture, but the tube itself in there is only a 22-inch tube, so calling it a 3-foot fixture is a little bit of a stretch. And you can see that that one light on there is not really cutting it for this tank. So this tank's going crazy, and I believe that at least one of my viewers who told me that that's not a flower spike, but that's a new plant growing off of there, I believe is right. That actually looks like two plants growing off of there. And then I got another one right there. So this new plant I've got growing in here is doing fantastic under my new LEDs I've gotten here. So speaking of LEDs, this tank is the one that I just did new lighting on. If you look at the profile on that, look at the top of the tank. There's no lights on it, or so it would appear. This was a really cheap project, and I'm actually it was an experimental project. It didn't work out really well, and I'm going to be doing a better one because I've got more parts. So I'll actually be doing a video here in the near future now that I got a little bit of know-how going on. So I took some strip lights, LEDs that just come in a roll. You can use them for party lights or under cabinet lighting or whatever. You can buy these little connectors that just clip onto the end. You just take scissors and cut the strips to the length you need them. On this particular piece, I put, we got two of them that are actually not even working at the moment. I've got a 2700K, or it was sold as a warm white and a cool white. I'm not exactly sure what color temperatures they're claiming these to be, but it has sticky material on the back, so all you got to do is peel it and stick it. And in this case, I just took some, that's literally just a piece of poster board from the Wally World, and I just stuck these to it. And again, you can see two of them are not lighted right now, so I am going to be working more on it. The other thing we needed to do to get these working, I've got that one, and then I've got a larger one back here. Again, it's just a piece of poster board with LED strips stuck to it. So I'm trying to get a little bit of the warm white in there, and then a little bit of the bright white or the cool white. And again, this weighs literally, it's just nothing. It's a piece of poster board. So the problem, sorry fish, the problem comes into, if we look down here into my octopus, if you see this and this, I bought this one for, I don't know, $7 or $8 or something like that, and it's the power converter. It converts from AC to DC. It's 12 volt, and I just figured I was going to need the little cheapie just for these little bits of light, and unfortunately I got one that was underpowered, and that's why this panel will actually blink occasionally. It's because it's not getting enough juice through that little converter box. So I did a little shopping around. I found a way better deal on a much more higher powered power supply, and I can actually light up an entire strip of these, which is 5 meters or 16.4 feet of these can be lighted with one of those power converters I got, or power supplies I got. So I'm going to be doing a video talking a lot more about that. I think I'm going to be able to light both of my 40-gallon tanks back here, the ones we were just looking at. I'll be able to light this one up, and I mean light it up. Again, it won't be the super high quality light. It'll be the same light we were just looking at in the brackish tank, which I don't think looks nearly as good as this quality light. And then likewise, we'll be able to light up this 40-gallon tank with the same, LED. So we'll have another look here at what that looks like. It's kind of discombobulated at the moment with everything all messed up. Get the overhead light turned down here. So that doesn't look terrible. It's probably not the most realistic lifelike light I've ever seen. It's definitely not going to have a really high color rendering index or anything, but it's not bad. And all things considered, when you take into account all the pieces and parts I need to buy and everything, including the poster board, I'm going to have about $25 in lighting up both of those 40-gallon tanks. So that's pretty good considering how much a normal light fixture costs. So again, that's kind of what I'm tinkering with tonight. I've already got the overhead light in here done. I'm actually clearing out the middle of the floor. As I said, we're going to sort of remove this island of junk and replace it with something else. That's probably going to factor into it somewhere. Not exactly sure what I'm doing yet. I keep saying that, but I'm just trying to throw out some hints and teasers to give you an idea that it is Saturday night and I am down here tinkering. So look forward to some new stuff coming up here in the very near future. So thanks for watching. Make sure you're subscribed. That way you won't miss anything else I got coming up. We will go ahead and end the video so I can leave you with a playlist if you're interested. We're going to call this one my Gourami tank. Thanks for watching. Look forward to a video on this tank coming up real soon too. And I'll see you in the near future. Thanks.